Howdy folks, it's Tyrol here and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. I'm dropping the 2020 from my introduction and the title because it really is just called Microsoft Flight Simulator. That's the full title. But the 2020 is because there used to be a Microsoft Flight Simulator 100,000 years ago in the olden days, but now they just brought it back. It's Microsoft Flight Simulator. The 2020 is just because it came back out in 2020. Alrighty, so we're going to start another bush trip today. We only have 2 left at the time of this recording until they add more in subsequent world updates. So we've got the Austria, Tylenol Mountains, and Germany journey. Germany journey is about 5 hours. We're going to do the Austria Tylenol today. And yes, I'm saying that on purpose. Don't correct me. I'll make jokes and stuff. And like I just say Pytot heat as an inside joke for years. Then all of a sudden in one day I got hundreds of comments that it's pedo heat. I'm like, I know that. I've been saying it, whatever. So I can't joke around. The internet is too serious. Anyway, let's get started with this short bush trip. Alright, it says 2 hours and 10 minutes, which for me is going to be like 5 hours, but we're going to do this is not as quickly as we can to be in a hurry, but just to see if we can get in the predicted time. We normally do 1 leg per video. But I'm thinking I'm going to combine legs and we'll just have some longer videos. So instead of doing like 1 video for this, 1 video for this, and then 1 video for these shorter ones, we're going to combine things and maybe get the video edited down to about 45 minutes to an hour. Just some longer format stuff. Like my normal videos are longer. Anyway, so for this video, we are going to combine the legs 1, 2, and 3. How about that? And then I'll decide about the others later. So 1, 2, and 3 for this video. I'll edit it down to be under an hour, hopefully. If it's over an hour, forgive me. But anyway, that's what we're going to do in this video. And then leg 4 will be another video with more, whatever. You get the idea. Alrighty, here we go. Traveling from east to west. You'll visit Austria's renowned cities and towns, its great mountains, and its gorgeous lakes and rivers. Points of interest include the capital, Vienna, the nation's highest mountain, Grasshopper, Großglockner, and a number of sites off the beaten path, notably in the famed Tyrol, which I've never heard of before. Oh, do I feel guilty? Because my international geography is generally pretty good. At least for some from the United States, it's pretty good. But I don't know what Tyrol is. Maybe a light bulb will go off later in my head. You'll embark on this tour in a Cessna 2-way Grand Caravan, stopping off at airports large and small throughout the country in this unforgettable and inspirational aerial voyage. Assistance from the trip, blah, blah, blah. We're not going to do assistance. There's no achievement tied to this activity at this time. Alrighty, so let's see. We start on the runway, so we need our fuel forward and our props forward. I believe this has a prop control lens. I haven't flown this one in a long, long time. This used to be my favorite aircraft back in FS 2004, but it's a long time. It's like 20 years later, 18 years later. Alrighty, what did I say? Legs 1, 2, and 3. I'm sure you have seen my other bush trip videos, so other than that, you know the drill. Let's get going. Alright, the first thing you can do is come down here, repair and refuel, which I've set up as Control R. You have to map that on your yoke or keyboard or something to do repair and refuel. It doesn't really matter if you quit after each leg, but if you do leg after leg after leg, you need to refuel. You can either find a fuel station if the airport has it, or Control R for me, or whatever you bind for your fuel. Let's see here. Because we're just starting this and I haven't quit yet, we do get the GPS track on our map. If I quit and come back, that'll be gone. So we do this many different ways. Sometimes we use a GPS with autopilot and just look around. Other times we use heading bug with autopilot, just look around. Other times we just look around and hand fly. So for this, because we have no terrain yet, we will soon. Because we have no terrain yet, we're actually just going to take advantage of the GPS. So let's do Flight Director, wherever it is on here. I'm assuming this is going to work. I haven't used GPS in this in a long time. We're going to use Nav, which is our GPS. We are going to stay kind of low for this one because there isn't any terrain yet. So let's go to 2,500 feet, which is really low for this aircraft. But then we can see stuff. Actually, no, let's go 3,000. I feel better about 3,000. So there's 3,000, and we'll do vertical speed. And we'll go up. Where's my... There we go. Go up, I don't know, 800 feet per minute or so. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple, normal stuff. And then we'll just hit autopilot end of the runway and take advantage of the GPS track for this leg, because it will go away eventually. Let's turn this thing off because it annoys me. And I like to have weather on, although it doesn't really matter for the bush trips because there really isn't much wind in the bush trips. Let's see, then we'll use our timer on this here. Although we don't need to actually because of the GPS. I guess we don't really need to. Go away. Alrighty, so where are we going? What are we doing? We are starting at LOWL, which is Lima Oscar Whiskey. And we're going to fly for about half an hour to Lima Oscar Whiskey Lima. Alrighty, let's see here. Because it's so quick, we'll read about the first two POIs right away, and then I'll read about the other ones as we get there. So, Vienna, after lifting your Cessna into the Austrian skies from Vienna, head northwest into the heart of the Austrian capital, Vienna. One of the most storied and historically significant cities in history, not to mention one with exquisite architecture, beautiful vistas, especially viewed from the air, and the Bösendorfer factory for Bösendorfer pianos. Right? I've never been there. I don't know where the factory is, or else I would point it out on this trip. Maybe we'll do a Vienna VFR tour in the future, and I'll point out the Bösendorfer factory. Let's see. So there's the first one, and then right after that, we go to Tulln. Continue on your northwestern heading to Tulln, a magnificent historic city built on the Danube River, known as the City of Flowers due to its multitude of beautiful parks and large manicured gardens. So we're going to see a big city, and then we're going to look for another city with a bunch of parks and gardens. When we get there, we'll read about the next POI. So because we're using the GPS track, it'll tell us POI 1, there's Vienna, there's Dome. When we get there, we'll read about the next city. There you go. And like I said, eventually our GPS track will be gone, and then we'll have to do the visual stuff. But let's take advantage right now, for now, of that. So here we go, flaps down 1 notch. There we go, everything is good. Let's hop outside super fast so we can get an idea where we are and what it looks like. And why is my thing not working? There it goes. An airplane landing. Beautiful. There's Vienna right in front of us, obviously. The tall buildings, and then eventually we're going to go into those mountains. But for right now, it's for the first leg anyway, it's going to be pretty flat. Alrighty, here we go. Let's let go of the parking brake and firewall it. And parking brake was already off. Happens to me every time. I've not flown this thing in ages. I feel like we're sitting kind of high. Yeah, we are, but that's okay. I'm tall. I'm 6'4", so we're going to sit high. Do not use ATC for these. Sorry, I'm not centered. It's because I turned my head and screwed everything up. Do not use ATC for these flights. I don't even think you can if you wanted to. Alright, brakes to stop the gears. A little bit of crosswind. Gear is fixed, as you can see here. And flaps coming in. And we'll bring props back a little bit. No, we won't. Does this not have a prop lever? Yes, it does. How come it's not responding on my gauges? Weird. Anyway, everything's ready to go. We are going to already hit autopilot just because we can. We normally don't, but in this case we can. Let's have a look outside and see where we're headed. And turning right across the airport. ATC would not be happy with us at all right now because we're not waiting to clear the field before we turn. Our co-pilot is going to tell us a few things, and let's see here. Let's bring back throttle a little bit so we're not in the red. Not worried about timer because you have the GPS. So we are taking a few little easy things here since we have the GPS track. And then in the future leg we will have to use the timer and all that good stuff. But not right now. Looking at the freeway, looking at Vienna off our nose. Very, very nice. I wanted to check something down here. We do have reversers on this, right? I'm pretty sure we do. It says reverse right there. We have reversers, yep. Alrighty, not much to say, other than we might actually want to go a little higher, maybe. Let's go a little higher than $3,000. Let's go $4,000. Make sure we clear that terrain. Alrighty, so we know Tulln is going to be right in this area here. And then we'll read about our next POI. So I'm going to give you sightseeing already. When we use the GPS, not a pilot, there's not a whole lot of yip-yapping for me to do. That looks interestingly weird. So we're going to, there we go, so it's taking a long time to render for some reason. So we're just going to go right into sightseeing. Those of you who haven't seen my videos before, I show you everything in sightseeing. I cut out stuff so that, for time, but you don't miss anything. You still see everything. So I'm going to give you some sightseeing right off, and then when we get to Tone, which is in this area here, I will join with you again, and we will talk about the next place we're going to see in a little bit. Alright, we're going to jump in early just because I want to jump outside so we can just look at Vienna together since it is such a kind of a big deal. I just wanted to have a peek here. There it is, the western side going into the hills, the foothills of the mountains. Then looking south and then looking east. Also, it's finally rendering in. It took forever for it to render in. So now it's rendering in after we've gone over it. Some nice parks there. I'm going to talk to my friend who's from Austria and see. She told me where in Austria she lived. I don't remember. It wasn't Vienna, but I want to show her Vienna from the air. I took some screenshots for her. And there's the river. You can see things are still rendering in, rendering out. Very strange rendering today. It's like popping in and out as we go. I don't understand. My internet today is fine, so it must be the servers I'm on or something. But anyway, there it is from the air. So off to Tone we go, which is right up here to the left off the nose. Because again, if you compare, Tone is right where the airplane is. So that's right where the river curves back. So right up here is Tone with all the parks. Give me a little bit of sightseeing over these hills, and I'll see you at Tone, and we'll read about the next place. Alright, this should be Tone here. Looks like they have a street that looks like an airport just under the nose. Isn't that interesting? But anyway, let's see here. Let's compare where we are, and let's read about the next place, which is just off the map. Let's zoom that a little bit. There we go. Next place we're going to is right over here. Let's see what that is. Checking my RPMs there, sorry. Next place is Krems on der Donau. From Tone, bear slightly left and follow the Danube for just under 19 nautical miles to the Krems der Donau, a city built at the confluence of the Kerns and Danube rivers. And on the map it says it's right here where the rivers meet. Actually it says right there, but rivers are meeting there. Alrighty, so we're going to fly to here. Oh, there's our slight left that is said to do. So let's look outside because turns are fun. And 5 minutes out, so probably right before the hills here. So I'll give you 20 to 40 seconds of sightseeing over this area, and I will see you at Kron der Danube. And then we'll read about milk. See you in a little bit. Alright, we're about to head into the mountains, so let's see. Let's read about our next place here. First, let's see. Can you actually see rivers here? I don't see rivers. Not really. Shows rivers on the map, though. Well, there's a river there, I guess. Sort of. I guess. This just looks small compared to the other one. The Danube. I've been looking at other bridges, too, by the way. And during sightseeing. Alrighty, Milk. Turn to the southwest and continue to follow the general path of the Danube to Milk, home of Milk Abbey, a large and Benedictine abbey that stands above the town itself on a large buttress of rock that overlooks the Danube. So we're going to follow the Danube for about 5 minutes and look for some cool stuff, which means probably like down in this area, I'm guessing. Actually, wait, it tells us, doesn't it? Milk, yeah, so there's the loop that's right here. Yep, good guess. So when we get there, we're going to look for something cool. Then right after that is the next POI, so let's read about that as well. And then 3 minutes away from Milk, head due west to Ostrangerwald, a beautiful forest overlooking the Danube. So we're going to look for some cool buildings, and we're going to look for a forest. And then we'll talk about the next thing. Alrighty. Not too bad, not too complicated. It is very helpful that we have the GPS line. It makes it easy. I don't consider it cheating because you can do these any way you want to do them. Speaking of doing things, lots of computers have to do a little bit. You can do them any way you want to do them. And we do them a whole bunch of different ways, right? So let's go up here a little. Oh, come on. What? Oh, vertical speedy goofball. There we go. There. You can do them any way you want. And we've done them many different ways, right? We've done complete VFR, like the Nevada trip, which is pretty exhausting. We've done VFR with heading bugs. We can look around. We've done VFR with this map here, without the track. And we've done VFR with Google Maps helping us. So any way you want to do it. All right, let's hop outside here before we go back to regular sightseeing and check out this town. And then we will head into the mountains. Hopefully our altitude is high enough. I'll make some emergency adjustments if I need to. Wasn't that gorgeous, huh? Check that out. Incredible. Very different than Norway, isn't it? Very, very different. Very different from Sweden. Those were the 2 bush trips we did before this one. Alright, we're gaining altitude now. We're going to head into the mountains and we're going to follow the Danube to the south until we get to some cool buildings. And then we're going to go to the west until we get to a cool forest. And then I will join you again for some blibber blabber. Hopefully enjoy the sightseeing. I'll see you in a couple of minutes. Alright, I think it's right there in the middle of your screen. I'm pretty sure it is. Because we're flying at 6,000 feet, we can't see it terribly well. That's another conversation we've had where sometimes we'll fly really, really low to the terrain so we can see stuff like this and then navigate between mountains. In this case, we would have skimmed the water all the way over, but we decided to be at altitude for this leg. So therefore, we are flying right over this thing. Can't see it terribly well, but I do see traffic and stuff. So we're not totally in space, but there you go. There it is from the air right over it, I guess. Oh, there's a racetrack over there. Alrighty, as we fly away from it, let's hop back into the cockpit, and we're turning west now. So we're going to head a couple minutes to this loop area here, which is right there in front of us. Looking for some gorgeous forests, which I assume are these, right? So we can actually probably just talk about our next POI as we fly in this area. Alrighty, the next one is Perg. 17.7 nautical miles farther west from Ostrangerwald, you'll reach Perg, a city with many beautiful buildings. That's 5.5 minutes out. Perg. which is right there, and well, right here. We're gonna head straight there. Then after that, we are going to go to the Solar City Linz. A few more minutes westward brings you to Solar City Linz, an energy efficient district in the city of Linz with housing for approximately 4,000 people. Okay, hopefully we can see what they're talking about there. Whoa, slow down. PY14, so right where the river splits. And then after that is our airport, Linz Airport. Okay. Whoops, wrong one. So we've read about everything. We're looking for forests here. We're looking for a city there. Beautiful buildings. And then we're looking for an energy efficient building, which isn't on the map yet over there. And then we'll land, fly straight in. Very simple. I'm going to give you sightseeing. I might talk in between. Otherwise, you're looking for a forest, beautiful buildings, and an energy efficient city, part of a city, district, or whatever. And then we'll land. And that'll be our first trip, and then we will combine it with the second leg and maybe third leg. I'm talking a lot more than I thought I would, so hopefully this video does come in under an hour when I'm editing, but just trying a different format today instead of one leg per video. So anyway, let's keep going on this trip, and I'll see you as we come in for the airport probably. Keep a lookout for what they ask us to see, and I'll see you in a little bit after I have us come down first. A little bit. Let's do some altitude. Yeah, let's go to 4,500. Let's go 3,700. Vertical speed. Nose down a little bit. Bring throttles back to an overspeed. And now I will see you in a little bit. So our fancy district area is somewhere right off the nose, and then there's our airport right there. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to kill autopilot now, and oops, wrong one. We're going to fly towards the airport, and the district then would be near our left. In the meantime, let's bring back throttles so we come down and not overspeed. If we overspeed, it'll crash us, so we have to redo the leg. And even though this is all edited down for you, it's been 45 minutes for me so far, instead of the, 32? Take away my 3-minute intro. Yeah, I'm still almost 10 minutes over. Not sure why, but let's enjoy the sights as we come in. Try to anyway. Let this thing come down nice and easily. I am pitching up a little bit, so we slow down too. Looking at the wonderful mountains. Of course, gear's already down because it's fixed. And there's our district. This must be the district here with the solar panels and things, maybe. Maybe that's all it right there. That's what I would guess anyway, but we do have to land this plane. So as much as we like to look around, we have issues because they look around too much, and then it screws us up when we come in for an approach. Looking at the hills in the background, looking at the water, looking at the finely rendered in terrain below us. Nice. Smooth as silk ever since I've had my G-Sync monitor. And I think we're going into those mountains in the next leg. So stay with us. After this leg, we're not done. We are going to do legs 1, 2, and 3 in this video. Hopefully it's not terribly long. Again, just trying a different format. And then the legs get shorter as we go. So we're actually doing the longest legs first. which is funny that I'm combining them, but that's just how it's going to work out. Alright, just checking out some more scenery here. If that total hours is correct, then I really don't fly this thing very much, do I? Alright, gear's already down. We'll come into flap range here in a moment. We're just going to have a nice, gentle approach with a slight crosswind from the left. It says 3 knots there. It feels like more than that as I come in. I really want to look around more, but we can't. It also throws off too much. Final looks out the windows, just because we have to land an airplane now. Already bring the throttles back, so when we pitch up to slow down, we don't ascend. We're descending and speeding down, and not going up. That's what we're doing. Alright, it says 4 right on the PAPI, which feels fine, I guess. Maybe that's right. 1 white, now that's better. First set of flaps. I think we have 2. And we do have reversers. Whoa! Float like an hot air balloon. That was nuts. Okie dokie. Let's get back on track here. We do have reversers. We don't need them, but we're going to use them because I like to use them. Actually, I think they're working. I don't know. Are they working again? Because there was an update there where they weren't working. So we'll find out if they're working. I have a switch on my yoke, and then I use my regular throttles, but it puts us into reverse. I should have tested it before we took off. We're going to find out soon if it works. Hopefully, we don't crash though. We're going to throttles back even more because we really need to descend here and get down because that float screwed us all up because I was looking down while we floated. Alright, let's go here. Throttles all the way back, even though it's a little bit early because we got to come down. Oofed. Second set of flaps. That'll make us float and slow down. There we go. Let's not hit stall till we're over the runway though, please. Aim for the numbers. There we go. A little bit of throttle to keep us from smacking into the ground. There we go. Throttle's back now. We'll round out a little bit. Let ground effects take us. We'll land right at stall. My reverser switch is set, so when I do throttle now, it'll reverse us. Hopefully, are they reversing? They're not reversing. They're taking off again. So it looks like it's not fixed yet. That doesn't make any sense. Let's stop a second. We'll test reversers in the next leg. Alright, only 9 minutes longer than it's supposed to. Alrighty, we're going to do 3 legs this video, so here we go, next leg. Alright, first thing we're going to do is come down, repair, and refuel, even though we didn't use much fuel. Alright, let's check this out. So we do throttles now. Not reversing. What? Whoa, wait a second. Oh dear. Alright, let's see, we're ready to repair, refuel. Because I did not stop the sim in between, we still have our GPS line. So we're going to take advantage of that. Are we going to LOWLs? We are. So we're going to take advantage of having the GPS just because we can, because in the future legs we won't, because I'm going to be quitting after leg 3 for now. So flight director, come on. Flight director, we're going to use nav, which will do the GPS. We're going to do an altitude of, where are we headed here? What's the train looking like? It's starting to get higher, so let's do 6,000. Until we know what's happening. And there we go. Alright, vertical speed 800 feet per minute, we'll say 900 is because we landed on it. Alright, we don't need to worry about barometer, weather, or anything in this because it's all preset for us. So let's just read about where we're going. We're going from LOWL to LOWLs, Lima Oscar Whiskey Sierra. We're going to take off back in the air. Set a course for the southwest and you arrive at Wells, a city built on the Tron River. Then right after that, we're going to plan a sea. Continue on the southwest heading. You'll shortly pass over the small lake Plan a Sea, which lies next to the Tron River. Then after that, we're going to bear left and fly over Tron Sea, a beautiful lake, Tron Sea, surrounded by mountains that some claim is home to legendary lake monster. It's cool. So we got a town and some lakes, and then we'll catch up here and read about that when we get there. So the town is here, and then we got what numbers are those? 5 and 6 and 7. Then we got, okay, there's the town, and then bam bam 2 lakes. So we'll keep that up as reference, or set like that as reference. And over here, they're off the map. Oh, they're these 2 things here. these 2 lakes. All right, so there we go. That's all it is. Let's try these reversers once. If I take off my brakes and get comfortable in my chair, do I go backwards? All right, we're going backwards. I just spent like 20 minutes with the reversers and presets and all this crap. And it works now. I have reversers now, so I don't know what happened, but there's an update that broke it, update that fixed it. Binding got weird. But anyway, we're set. Let's go. Let's get in the air. We're just going to follow the GPS track for this lake since it's here. And then we'll check out the town and 2 lakes. So off we go. Yes, I know we're in the red on the gauges, but that's okay. And we're going to pop up. Here we go. A little bit crosswind there. Brakes at top the wheels. Gears fixed. We'll bring flaps in a moment. Think about now. And this time, instead of doing autopilot right away, we will wait until we get past the airport. And then we'll let autopilot do the work. And we'll just look around as we climb. So here we go. And autopilot engage. Smooth handoff. Looking out the window because that's fun when you're turning. Don't hit the ground, please. It feels like it, but we're not going to. We're climbing 800 feet per minute, 700 feet per minute. Our nice shadow on the ground. Flaps already in. Everything is firewalled. Bring back throttles to get out of the red. There we go. And hop outside and have a look where we came from before we head into the mountains. Here we go. Turn down that volume. That is loud. We'll leave the landing lights on the whole time. And there you have it. So not much to say, not much blabbing to do. Let's see here. Where was I? Because I spent all that time fixing reversers. There's the town right off our nose. And then we have the 2 lakes. And we have to be careful of the train. And that is about it. Quite simple when the GPS is doing all the work for you, huh? But we're taking advantage. And that's where we're headed. So I'm going to show you the town and a couple lakes, and when we get past the 2nd lake, we will read about the rest of it because it all happens very quickly. So I will see you in a little bit. So this is where things get a bit sketchy. There's a lake there, and then our other lake is right there. But I'm wondering where autopilot is going to take us. So I'm actually going to use heading bug and heading bug our way around this and start turning right now. Because we know where the lakes are, it's pretty obvious. And I don't want to hit these mountains because their altitude is kind of low for these mountains right here. So there's our lake. We're going to fly over to the right and see how this goes. And then when we see the airport in our GPS, that's what we'll do. So once we get to the 2nd lake, we read about the other POIs and then head towards our airport. Where's my mouse? Jeez Louise. Whoops. Not like that. Maybe like that? Oh, they disappear. Alrighty, so 6 is to our left, 7 is there, 8, 9, and 10 are around the corner somewhere. And we'll figure it out. Somehow, looks like 10 is here. That lake, maybe. Yep, and then the airport. So lake, something, something, lake, airport. Without hitting anything. That's the catch. Try not to hit anything. So there's one of our lakes there. I'll get you back to sightseeing for like another 20 seconds. No, we're not going to get any sightseeing in. We're just going to look super fast here and then read about where we're going as we head towards that other lake. But that is a gorgeous lake. How nice to be around there. I love lakes surrounded by mountains. I've talked about that many times. Alright, let's stay at this altitude. See what's going on here. And then we're going to turn west and arrive at LOWZ, a gorgeous alpine lake that is the 3rd largest by surface area in Austria and the largest completely within the nation's borders. And that was 4? No, that's POI 7. Okay, that's where we're looking at right now, this one. POI 8 is west-southwest, and you'll reach Mondsee, an S-shaped lake surrounded by magnificent peaks. That's that there, which we're going to kind of see the way we're going. We're going to kind of be north of it, but we'll figure it out. We'll see it. That's probably right there. And then, Fulsham-See, continue on your way to the town, southeastern of Fulsham-See, an Austrian alpine lake. That's PO9. That's another lake, which is right there, I guess. So we're going to cut across here because the train will look at those 2 lakes. And then we'll go to Sirkenschen am Wallersee, and you'll shortly arrive there, a town that is the oldest Austrian population center in the country's history. So there's a big town here on this lake. Okay, and then the airport, Salzburg. Head southwest and land at Salzburg, right there. Okay, so we went past one lake, we're about to go over another lake, and then there are a few more lakes, which hopefully we'll see within the train, cities on each. But basically right now, because of the train, we're headed towards the airport, just because I like this altitude, and it'd be a little bit different. And it's snowy. Very cool. Alrighty, so a little bit of sightseeing for you while I navigate the train off our nose, and then we'll aim for the airport, and we'll land. So I'll see you when it's time to come in to do something about landing this thing. See you in a little bit. Alright, lake to our left, lake to our right, lake straight ahead. That's what we want to see. So there's our town there, there's another town back there. We are kind of skipping over this. We were supposed to come through here and then go back in the mountains and come back out. But I don't know. I like this path better. And we're supposed to end up here anyway, where we are now. So that's okay. We just probably cut off like a mile, whatever. No big deal. Let's hop outside and get some final looks. Ooh, we get some train turbulence here. But they want us to look at this lake, and they wanted us to look at that one, and they wanted us to look right there. And that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. And then there's an airport out there somewhere that I don't see. We have to find it though. I think it's over here. And then we'll start coming down once we clear this train, and then we really go into the mountains for the next leg, which we will have in this video. So I have no idea how long this video is. I'm going to try to keep it under an hour, but we might hit an hour and 5 minutes or something maybe. Anyway, here we go. Train turbulence is starting up. And let's hop inside and look out the window, because that's cool. And there we go. Alrighty, time to find our airport, which is straight and then a little left, which I'm pretty sure is right here, yeah. So how are we going to approach this? I think we're going to keep our heading, start coming down now, and maybe go around that little hill and then land. That's my plan. Let's use autopilot though for a little bit more. Let's come down all the way about 2,200 feet. Vertical speed, nose down, about 800 feet per minute or so. Come on, it's moving on me too much. They're 900. I guess bring back throttle so we don't overspeed. We don't have to crash. We don't want to overspeed, which will cause a crash and redo the leg. Not good. Yeah, there's that range turbulence I was talking about. Bringing throttles way back because the predictive line, purple line, had us overspeeding. Oof. There we go. Look at those cities. Focus on the cities. Oh my goodness. Very bumpy. Alrighty, we're going to head straight until we figure out exactly where this airport is, which again is more obvious now. It's right there. So I think we can come in here for a very, very short final. We are in a stall after all, short takeoff and landing. Alright, I was giving more sightseeing, but we gotta fly a plane. We have to turn off autopilot, flight director, get that out of my way, bring bring throttles all the way back, and do not hit that hill in front of us. And land at the airport, which is right there, as I thought I saw. Gear's already down because it's fixed. So now it's just a matter of watching our speed, getting flaps out, and landing. And we have plenty of space for this short final. Not a problem at all. We're already within flap range, which I don't want to be at. So let's nose down to pick up our speed, but throttle to soften our descent, so it's not too outrageous. Check out this hill we're going to avoid. I bet that looks gorgeous in real life. And look at the beautiful, beautiful city in the mountains. Holy moly, looks like a painting in the background. Just like real life. If you've ever been up high looking in the distance, it looks just like this. Just like a painting. Okie dokie. Ready to turn on final yet? Not quite. Let's use the right preset so we can see what we're doing. Bring back throttles a little bit. Nose up a little bit. And first set of flaps. Look over here. Well, why do we float so terribly in this aircraft when we bring out flaps? The first set. Alright, not sure if that's a dam or waterfall just off the dashboard there. Not sure. Let's have a look actually. Let's check it out. I love the sound of that drag. There it is. Yeah, it's like a dam or something. Maybe a lock system? Can't really tell. Alright, 4 white on the pappy, so it says we're a little high. I think we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Kind of making a slow turn onto final here. Let's start turning with more intent. Keep our speed where it is. Keep our descent rate where it is until we find glide slope. It says we're still kind of high. So we're going to descend a little more quickly here, even though it's a little uncomfortable for our ears, but that's fine. Still looking around what we should be doing. There's one red on the pappy. Let's bring out second set of flaps for landing. It's going to float, but not as bad as the first set. Do not get distracted by the mountains in the distance. Do not get distracted by the mountains in the distance. We're on glide slope now. Let's get some throttles back again because we're getting kind of slow. And we'll use our pitch to contain that speed where we want it. Throttles to contain our descent, which we're good right now. Speed and descent is great. It says a little bit crossing from the right, which is true. There's 2 whole knots. Not going to worry about it. Alright, a little bit more throttle here. Get us back on the glide slope, looking around super fast. Super fast. And we got bumped to the left, of course. Alrighty. Love the sound of the drag of the flaps off my subwoofer. It's awesome. Alrighty, here we go, aiming for the numbers. Let's see reversers work this time now that I fixed my key bindings. And there we go, throttles. Whoa! That's not what I meant to do. I don't know what happened. I did a little bit of throttle back and I got like train turbulence without terrain. I don't quite understand. I know we're very slow. We're going to hit stall right above the runway. We're landing like we want to land on dirt. We have plenty of space to do this. There we go. Ground effect saved us. we bounced in this airplane. Reversers deployed. Reversers in reverse using the brakes. Throttles in and flaps in. And 30 minutes. Took us 7 more than it's supposed to. Alright, we are going to cram a third leg into this video. So here we go. Alright, come down here, repair and refuel. And yeah, that's about it. Let's get first at the flaps. What? Okay, first set of flaps ready to go, whatever. Alright, where are we going? We're going to LOWLZ. We've been there many times. Oh my gosh. First time in an organized trip though. Alright, first though we're taking off. Return to the beautiful Australian heights and head south-southeast to Hörsching, a city on the bank of the Schwechat River with rich history, notably a salt mine that was used for thousands of years. That's like right away almost. So looking at the map, we still have our GPS because we haven't quit the sim yet. But after this leg, I'm going to quit the sims. Our next video, we'll have to do this manually, and it's going to be fun. To get the POIs, we have to try to see through all this crap, and we can't. So I don't know where we're headed. It's around here somewhere. And then after that, we'll remain on our course, and we'll reach the extraordinary hard-working castle, a stone fortress overlooking the valley. POI 12, it says. See, the POIs disappear when we go that close, but they're hidden behind this mess. Because it's only a couple minutes out. There's 12 way down here. So there's a castle between these mountains. Okay, look at this terrain. It's not bad. And then we got to fly. So we're going to be doing some hand flying and or heading bug flying, because if he's the GPS is going to put us over the very high mountains. We don't want to do that. We could do the option where we go straight up to the skies, fly over everything, which we have done in some bush trips because you kind of have to. But in this leg, at least this leg, I do not want to go over the mountains. I want to fly among them. So we're going to probably hand fly or use heading bug to get around all this. And then POI 13 is after the castle. You turn southwest and you'll soon be overlooking Hörsching, the highest mountain in the Alps. Then we'll read about the rest when we get there. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to take off and we're going to look for a castle. We're going to look for some cities and things. We're going to look for a castle here in the highest mountain there while we hand fly if we need to. Okay. So we got to be very careful on this one. Very careful. Let's see what it looks like from here. Yeah, we're headed down here in this valley. We're going to stay in the valley and then look for that high mountain. And then when we get to the high mountain, we'll read about what's going on. So let's start actually with autopilot on heading bug for this. Because I'm going to use it to get us to the valley. Altitude. I don't want to go above the mountain, so let's have 6,000 feet, not even 6,000. Let's do 4,500. And I'll hand fly as needed if I need to get through all this stuff. And flaps are already set. Do you see what I'm saying? It'll make sense as we take off. So here we go. Reversers are off, right? Yep. Parking brake is off. And here we go. Cramming in 3 legs in one video. My voice is getting sore, but that's okay. We will take care of it. Alright, here we go. Airspeed is plenty alive. And don't need about weather, don't need to worry about ATC. Let's pop up. A little bit of crosswind from behind us. Brakes to stop the wheels. Gears fixed. And we'll bring flaps in a minute. And here we go. Let's get some speed. Whoa. Let's trim that thing. Jeez. Alright, here we go. Let's engage autopilot. And let's move heading bug a little bit to the east. Or southeast, I should say. Just to get us through that terrain. Maybe even a little bit more. There we go. I'm talking about that terrain in front of us. We've been here before too. We're going to aim through here and then turn right, I think, before we get to that mountain. Yeah. Alright, a little bit of sightseeing, but this leg is probably going to have me in the cockpit a lot, which means I talk a lot. So let's get the sightseeing and vocal silence out of the way first, and then I'll be back with you in a very, very short time, because that mountain is coming up very quickly. Okie dokie. Are we headed between those mountains, I think? No, still pretty much straight. So, I don't know, are we going this way? Are we going that way? Regardless, we gotta get this heading bug moved over because we're headed towards that hill. I just know that we need to follow this river. I know I wasn't going to talk in between, but like I said, if I have to do this by hand, there's going to be more talking because I talk through what I'm doing from the cockpit. So that's a little bit oh no, here we go. So perfectly straight from where we are now is what we want to do. So whatever that means, that's what we want to do. Yeah, I think we're going through here. I think we're going over this little bump. We're going to go through there. Are we still climbing? Oh, no, we're not. Let's be crazy and let's not go any higher. Let's navigate this by hand when we get there and be crazy. Let's do that. Alright, time to take control. I was so busy sightseeing, I wasn't really paying much attention. So here we go. Let's turn through here, and then we'll proceed towards the castle. Oh my gosh, I want to look out the window instead. I don't want to fly an airplane right now, I just want to look. Holy cow, that's amazing. Oh, that lake down there. Oh, I want to be there right now. Go skinny dipping in it. I want to. I want to so badly. Alright, here we go. We're going to have some train turbulence, but we can do it. This reminds me of Aviation 101's latest video, at the time of this recording, where they were in Alaska doing stuff exactly like this. Exactly like this, except it was Alaska, and it was real life. Alright, here we go. We're just going to kind of curve through the mountains. Not a big deal. This isn't scary at all. The truth of it is, though, is we aren't nearly as close to these mountains as it looks. I mean, we're close, but we're not about to hit them. Alright, we made it through that. We have some train turbulence as expected. We're going to keep going through here now. Following this river. Not overspeeding. Oh boy, keep an eye on that speed, boy. Oh my goodness. We're going to follow the river, just like we are, and then we'll look for a castle, which should be anywhere right here, I think. So how are we going to see this castle? I guess I do autopilot with heading bugs. We can look for a minute. Is that what we do? Oh, what's it doing about our altitude? I don't know what it's doing with our altitude. Let's look. Oh gosh, we're going to overspeed. Bring back throttles. Just for a second. Look outside super fast. This is where our castle is, isn't it? Yeah. Right off our nose to the left. There's a castle. Do you see it? I don't see it yet. I see mountains in front of us. So we're going to take over again. It captured our set altitude though. I'm impressed by that. Throttles again. Looking for this castle. I don't know. I'd have to look on Google Maps and look exactly where it is. But according to this, now, it should be right in front of our nose. Like, literally right in front of our nose, if not under us. Let's do the drone very quickly, although I don't have control if I use my drone. It's supposed to be right here. There it is. Right in dead center of your screen. See that? There you go. We found it. Alright, I need control of my aircraft. Because when I do drone, I don't have control of my aircraft. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to look to the right. And there is the tallest mountain. Right there. There it is. We're going to go around it. Correct? Yes, we are. Let's go around it. Keep our speed, watch our altitude. Make sure the updraft made us climb. Let's not keep climbing. And let's read about our next thing. Okay. Still hand flying. Solfelden am Steinerheimer Meer. Head west from Hörsching for just under 9 nautical miles. I'm sorry, I'm looking out the window because I'm flying. And arrive a town in the midst of the gorgeous alpine scenery. LMC, we've been here millions of times. Turn and descend. Land at LMC Airport, LOWZ. Alright, let's put that away and let's just fly along this river. Because I believe that's what we're doing. Oh, I wanted us to go in between. Yeah, that's right, I wanted us to go over the mountain. And then back down. Okay, and there's our town there. So we want to come around and look for a town which is like right here-ish. And then, oh dear. Oh my. Hang on. Hang on. We need to navigate through this terrain. Okay, so we're going to look for a town, I guess. Which is, well, I'm trying to fly by hand. Just off that river. So it's just off this river. That blue dot. I'm going to aim for that blue dot. The airport isn't even showing up. Why not? Anyway, let's aim for that blue dot amidst the terrain. Whew. And we'll get there. Alright, we're still firewalled. I'm climbing. I'm letting the updraft climb us because we're going to get through this valley. We're going to do it by hand. Oh, look at that. Which means I'm going to blab a lot. Because I can't go to use the drone for sightseeing. Because my drone controls are on my yoke and pedals. Alright, we're going to let ourselves climb a little bit. And we're going to go through this valley. Yay, this is so much fun. And then we're going to fly and land. And land. Hopefully land. Alright, we're aiming for that dot. Because there's a town there. Is that really what that is? On that dot? Yeah, pretty much. Whoa. Watch where you're going. Alrighty, yeah. I'm just going to keep the view here for a second. Let's enjoy this mountain for a second. And then I really do have to fly this plane. Alright, let's see. We're still climbing a little bit. Our airport is down here in the valley. So, we don't really have to keep climbing now. Whoa. Watch what you're doing, turtle. Jeez Louise. So we're going to start letting it come down. Whoa. Whoa, the train turbulence. Sorry, mountain. I'm trying to respect you. But I'm also trying to stay low enough to see things on the ground. Otherwise, it says, look at that city. Well, we're 12,000 feet above it. I don't see anything. We're trying to stay low. So now we can come back down towards this valley here. And airport would be off to the left because there's our town we want to look at in front of us. Just keep an eye on our speed. Are we trimmed enough? I can, let's see, can I use the drone for a second? Yes. And it's all crooked. What's up with that? Here we go. Here's the drone. So we can look very carefully, very quickly. We have to jump back into the airplane because right now it's freewheeling all on its own. Very nice. Oh, it's turning to the left. I better hop back in and control my airplane. There we go. Alright, let's start coming down. Lose some altitude. Throttles back. And pitch up so we don't gain any speed. Checking out this mountain as well. Oh, there's a little barn or house on there. That'd be fun. Except for all the mountain animals. You know I don't like animals in the wild. If you haven't seen my previous bush trips, I talk about that a lot. I love nature, but I'm scared of animals bigger than a cat. Like, and I mean like bigger than a domestic house cat. Even during the day, even at night. It scares me. I'd rather be in a city with people. I'll be at people's houses who live rural, and we'll go outside at night. I'm petrified that an animal's going to come up and get us, even outside the house. Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe in a past life I was mauled by an animal and I still remember. Who knows? But I'm scared of wildlife. I know, sounds silly, but I'm not scared of people. Alrighty, there's our town right there. Looking good. I think what we'll do is start turning left and we can look at the town from the right side. Let's maintain our altitude right now until the airport comes in view. So throttles in, so we level off. Look at that, back at 4,500 feet. That worked out slick. I'm still hand flying though. There's a valley we're going to follow. I assume it'll lead us to the airport. It sure looks like it will. And there's the town we're supposed to look at. Looking good, people. I see our airplane shadow going over that lake. Nice railroads town, the railroad station. Okie dokie. Let's see. Come in here over the lake, and then we'll see LOWL's at the end of the lake. We've been here many times. We've done this area many times. So let's start coming down, and then the airport is right here, I believe. Boom, right there. So let's get our altitude down to about 3,500 or so. Keep our speed just above flap range. And we can use this view and keep control of our aircraft, but then it has the stupid HUD stuff, which you can turn off in regular flight, free flight. You cannot turn it off in. That's such a gorgeous view too. You cannot turn it off in the bush trips. Alrighty, we have to control what we're doing better here. This isn't working so well. Alright, back in control, so let's look outside again until we lose control. Whoa, that's gorgeous. Holy cow. I would just love to sit in that field with no animals and look at all this. I would. Alright, here we go. Let's pay attention to what we're doing, Turtle. Holy cow. Alrighty, let's nose up to slow down and to let off on our descent until we see our airport, which will be right there off our nose, right before the hill. As I've said before, we know this area quite well. Yeah, more nose up. We need to slow down even more. Throttles back so we don't climb. And we'll get ready for first set of flaps in a moment. There is first set of flaps. It's gonna float like a crazy person here. Holy cow. Say that every time. Love the Minecraft clouds in the water. Love the boats underwater. Love this city. That's looking awesome. Look at that. And I can't quite make out a runway direction yet, even though we have been here before. It's out there somewhere. So we're going to hold this altitude, hold to this heading, and hold the speed as best as we can until we are visual. And then we'll nosedive and land. Alright, airport is in view. Very, very short final. So let's get the full flap out. Get our speed down as low as we can without stalling. And get ready to turn on the final here. Very briefly, there's our runway right there, very short. We will use reversers, obviously. I love reversers now that they're working. And then we will land and conclude this long video of 3 legs. I hope my editing kept it under an hour, but if it went to an hour, 5 hour, 10, I think that's okay too. That's how my videos used to be, and no one ever complained. So. Here we go, throttles back even more so we can descend and lose speed. And get ready. Do not get distracted by that mountain peak. That's where we're headed in the next leg. Somehow we got to get up and around that. That's going to be interesting. Looking forward to that. But that will not be today. Alrighty, here we go. We want to lose as much speed as we can, which we will. Because I'm going to round out here in a moment. There we go, losing speed. Let's not stall yet. Let's not stall yet. Oh my gosh, I do not remember this runway being this tiny. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And I'll explain why in a minute. I'm going to forget, probably, huh? Alrighty, reverser switch is ready. Coming down, round out just before the numbers. And we're stalled. That's fine. Throttles, nose down. Not as gently as I had hoped, but it went down okay. And on those brakes. Is our reversers not working? Reversers aren't working. Why? They were working in the previous leg. What the heck? I don't understand. But we made it. Only took 3 minutes longer than normal. So the reason why I know this place from X-Plane 11, we did the beaver in and out of here a ton. Back when the beaver was broken. Alrighty, so anyway, that's it for this video. Like, subscribe so you know when the next video is. And liking and subscribing also gives more people visibility through the algorithm. So like, subscribe, all that stuff. And I'll see you for a few more legs next time.